Since 2003, this is the Sports Source, East Tennessee's #1 sports talk show.
Brought to you by Junk Be Gone and the Garza Law Firm.
With your host, John Pennington. The Sports Source starts now.
Good Sunday morning. Welcome into the Sports Source. Happy to have you join us today. We are going to be talking Tennessee basketball because they play about an hour from now, and we realize that. So the last half hour, some of you will be flipping away. The rest of the show you can catch on YouTube or sportsource.tv later in the day. Those of you who are football fans and fans of football only, you can stick around with us for that last half hour. We'll be talking football for half this show as well. So basketball, football, we got it all. Let's dive right in and start this thing. First segment of our program, brought to you by Junk Be Gone. If you're a business that needs paper shredded and documents destroyed, Junk Be Gone is who you need to call. 100% HIPAA compliant, pickup service within a 30-mile radius of Knoxville. All paper is 100% recycled, on and on and on. You can check it out online to know more about it, but no matter the junk that you need to get gone, Junk Be Gone is the group to trust. I use them every year at my house during spring cleaning. They'll have a driveway dumpster there probably within the month. Junk Be Gone, junkbegone.biz. All right, let's welcome in the panel for the first part of our show. We have former Vol assistant coach Mark Pancratz right here. Of course, also a former Division I basketball player at Milwaukee. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Back for his second week, guy who enjoyed a birthday this past week, VFL Jerron Mayman, who's been on the staff for Conzo Martin's squad the last couple of years. Jerron, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And right down there, Vince Ferrara from WNML AM and FM is back with us before you're off to do UT baseball this afternoon, correct?
That's right.
All right, we've got busy people here, lots to get into. The Vols finish off the regular season at Thompson Bowling in about an hour, as I said. Senior day. We'll break that game down, give you some keys to what Tennessee has to do to win a little later in the show. But I want to talk about the importance of this game first of all. And let's go ahead and take a look in terms of the seeding that's on the line. With a win today, Tennessee gets the 4th seed in the SEC tournament, gets the bye, basically it's a double bye. You're straight into the quarterfinals on Friday. That would be your first game, would be the afternoon session. The second game, probably about 2:30. You would play the team that advances from Florida, who you're playing today. They would drop to the 5 seed, and then they would have to play the winner of Texas A&M or Vanderbilt on Thursday. So you would get Florida on Friday afternoon if you win today. If you lose today, then you're going to be in that dreaded last game Thursday, waiting for the others to wrap up, and you'll play against number 11 seed South Carolina. So 4th seed or 6th seed is what you have on the line. A double bye or one round bye is the difference. Then you look down at the NCAA bids. Tennessee right now is number 23 in the NCAA's net rankings, and that's for those of you that always knew what RPI was that the selection committee uses. Net ratings has replaced that. If you're a 23, that puts you at about a 6 seed, 5 if you're lucky, 7 on the downside. And that's where most of these bracketologists have them as a 6 seed. Joe Lunardi says going against Georgia Tech in the first round in the NCAA tournament with Villanova and in Southern Utah waiting on them. Jerry Palm sees it a 6 seed going against another ACC squad, one of the Blue Bloods, North Carolina, with, again, Villanova, the number 3 seed opposite them. That's the plan. That's what people are saying about this team. That's what's on the line today. My question, we'll start with you, Mark Pancratz, because you've coached and been a player. When it comes down to the seeding, is it more important that Tennessee wins today for the seed, for the matchup that they're going to get the extra day's rest in Nashville, et cetera? Or is it more important when you get in tournament play to just be hot, to be confident at that time? What are you playing for today? Why is this Florida game more important? Is it that seeding to get the right matchups and the breaks, or is it just to get some confidence going with this team again?
Well, I think right now, and every team is different, right?
Sure.
But I think where this team is at right now with the lack of confidence, this game is about confidence. This game is about getting positive mojo back, not only within the locker room and the fun and the energy that they're not playing with currently that you've seen previous year teams play with. And then the matchup side of it, that confidence can lead to some exciting things. But for me, this basketball team, where they're at, it boils down to confidence in getting this win today.
Jerron, your thoughts?
I would say from a coaching standpoint, yes, it matters. Obviously you want the guys to come in and be more, player oriented, and from that standpoint, you want you have some small analytical things you want to put in place in the player matchups. But from a player standpoint, I don't think it really matters. Like, to kind of go off what Mark said, you need to get that confidence back, to be able to play with some energy, play with some enthusiasm out there and play for one another. I think that matters.
You've got your ear to the ground, talk to people. What are your feelings right now with this team's confidence level? Is it as bad as we may think from on the outside, or do you think they're okay at the moment?
No, I think we're okay at the moment. What you never want to do, especially as a fan, is panic too early. Because right now we're in the craziest month that sports, especially basketball, can be in. We're in March Madness. It's March Madness for a reason. So you have to make sure you're sending those good vibes out to your team. If you're wearing your orange and you're doing your rituals for game day, do those things. Send those good vibes to those teams and to the balls, and then see what happens.
Vince, what's more important for this team? The what you gain in terms of matchup and day off, or they needed to get back on a roll?
Well, I think it's seeding, and the reason is because if it was a more extended period of time that we were talking about, say the last couple of weeks of the season, I would say yes, it's confidence. But I think that's very difficult to build in just one game, especially when this team has been so yo-yo this year. Play a game and win. It's been a while since they played a really good game and won. Some of those have been just getting by. But are you going to get confidence off of one win when you've been so up and down? So I think the seeding is more important because it's one less game in the SEC tournament you'd have to play. And then for the NCAA tournament, obviously it helps you maybe solidify a little bit better seed. Hopefully, if you make a run in the SEC tournament, maybe get to a 5 seed, a little bit lesser initial first opponent, that maybe you can get through. But there's always a concern of this team stringing together wins. So I think in talking about just one game, I think it's the seeding that's more important.
Jerron and I were talking about this before the show started today, and that is, and I'll ask you, Mark, how important are the regular season games you've played against teams in the SEC once you get to the SEC tournament? Because I can show you cases where a team beats another team 3 times. I can show you cases where a team beats the heck out of one team and then goes and gets its doors blown off by that same team in the tournament. So I'm not sure that there is any court that you can look at it and say, yes, what happened in the regular season carries over into the SEC tournament. Do you think it does?
Well, I think, again, every player is different. For one, and Drama may say the opposite of this, but like if you look at Fulkerson, he had 15 points for Florida. Is there a way that you can instill some confidence in preparation for this game and say, hey, look, here's what you did against this same opponent, and feed confidence to help them get it back? That's some of the things about Barnes is what adjustments does he make or does he not make, or is he going to continue to do the same things and say, hey, last time it was just because of turnovers? That's to be determined. But the reason why I say confidence, just as to go back to that piece of it, is this team is super talented. And I think if they can get the confidence going, it doesn't matter if they're a 6 seed, a 7 seed, a 5 seed, because they're in that ballpark. Now, if they were to lose and drop down and be in an 8-9 game in the NCAA tournament, big deal. Yeah. If they were to lose this game and then also lose to Florida first round of the SEC tournament, big deal. But I think it boils down to confidence. But the deeper issue for me is the cohesiveness. You can have confidence. Every guy can be independently confident. But if they're not cohesively playing together as one unit, offensively and defensively, that's the issue. And I don't know, to your point, Vince, I don't know if that is fixable in a one-game time frame.
And here's the difference. In Jerron's team with Konzo, when they made their run in the NCAA tournament, that maybe surprised people because I think there was more expected of the regular season. You guys won your last 4 SEC games. So there was a little bit of momentum, and you got that cohesiveness going in. This team, if they win one game, I think it's a little bit different situation just with one game.
I think when you're dealing with guys who have certain pedigree, I think we have the pedigree on UT's roster. It's there. And so that's not a question. And so we need only just one game. I think when you have guys who have a certain kind of pedigree, and granted, I'm speaking only from a player's point of view. From like if I was in the locker room with another player who's struggling, that I know can go out there and get the job done. All he needs is one game to turn the lights on. And I think that's what we have to focus on here with this UT team. They go to the SEC tournament. It's a warm up before the NCAA tournament. Yeah. You know, although the stakes are still the same, lose, go home. Yeah. You still put yourself in position to turn the lights back on.
My fear for this team, and you're right, they're talented. They're way too talented for us to be sitting here today talking about a possible 6 seed in the SEC. But the one place where you do have questions about them is at point guard. Do they have great point guard play? They haven't shown that this year. And what usually gets exposed at tournament time? Bad point guard play. So that is my concern moving forward. When we come back, though, this one, look, a lot of people say Rick Barnes is a bad tournament basketball coach. Is he? I went back. We're going to show you some numbers. I looked at them. Well, it's surprising me. This isn't as bad as I thought. And then I looked at the numbers another way and went, oh my God, it's a lot worse than I thought. We'll show you the numbers and let you decide whether the glass is half full or half empty. Next on The Sports Source.